Hey, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Yuri Elkaim here. So I'm really excited because today is a really cold day, very windy outside, and I'm indoors. I'm not going to be venturing outside, I don't think. It's a crazy one. So I'm taking this opportunity to give you a couple really cool gifts. Christmas gifts, holiday gifts, but also to help you prepare 2013 and make it your best year ever. So I'm going to go through a couple things with you, which I think are really going to help you out. These are some things that I've incorporated into my own life, and they've made a huge difference for me. So first of all, hope you're having a great holiday season, and hopefully whatever you do is going to bring lots of joy to you and your family. Now, I have, first off, I want to share 3 things with you that are absolutely critical to helping you achieve your goals in 2013 and pretty much at any point in your life. And really, goal achievement comes down to an internal process, right? We create our reality. So, where you are today is pretty much a reflection of the actions you've taken and the emotions you've experienced and the thoughts that have been going on in your head for a while. And so, if you're happy with those results, then that's great. If you're not, then you need to look at how to change some of that. So what I want to do is I want to share 3 strategies to help you really create an amazing future. And these are things that I've really started to incorporate at a much greater level. And actually one of my goals for the new year is to become a lot more conscious of this stuff. I want to become like a superhuman in the sense that I'm much more aware of what's happening in my mind and how I'm creating certain things in my life. And I just want to become a lot more kind of self-aware of that whole process. And I think that's a very important step for any of us to take, because we are the script writers really of our life. So what I want to do is I have 3 cards here, 3 cue cards. I want to share probably the first thing we need to understand with respect to achieving goals and really getting what you want out of life is this right here. Okay? Love. And I'm not talking about like being in a loving relationship, although that's helpful, but what I'm referring to is loving yourself. This is probably the most important thing you can grasp, start to master, and really apply in your life. And it's going to make the biggest of differences, because the problem is that most of us go through life without a real deep love of ourselves. So we don't truly love who we are. We berate ourselves, we criticize ourselves, and that does nothing to help build your confidence. If you don't love yourself, you essentially don't allow good things to happen to you, right? So if you, for instance, as an example, if you want to lose weight, but you don't love and accept yourself where you currently are right now, then you are essentially resisting good stuff to happen to you. Okay, so in order for you, for instance, to lose weight, you need to be comfortable and accepting and approving of who you are right now, and that essentially all comes back to loving yourself. Now, I know this kind of seems pretty ethereal and spiritual and stuff, but believe me, this is the stuff that makes the workouts and the nutrition work. Okay? When this stuff is not in place, it doesn't matter which workouts you're using, it doesn't matter what diet you're following, it doesn't matter what you're doing, none of that will make any difference. Okay? The reason why so many people sabotage their own success is simply because they don't believe that they're not worthy enough, or they don't deserve amazing things to happen to them. And I want you to know that doesn't have to be your reality, right? If you can start to really tune in to understanding how you feel about yourself, and then maybe make some positive changes, you can start to really create some amazing things in your life. So a really simple exercise that Louise Hay, who's the author of How You Can Heal Your Life, she mentioned in it's a book that I probably read 10 years ago, and I've started rereading again because I'm just at that stage of my journey where it's really kind of come out again. She says that everything can be dissolved. Every problem, pretty much, a healing crisis, a health issue, can be dissolved through love. And to sum up her book, it essentially says loving yourself is the most important thing you can do for your health. And she gives you a lot of different exercises in the book, but I want to share one really cool exercise that you can do. This is something that I'm doing on a daily basis, and it's basically you look in the mirror. So you go to the bathroom, brushing your teeth, whatever, and you look in the mirror in your eyes, and you basically say the following: I love you. That's it. I love you, and just repeat it, and really mean it, like really get in there. And for a lot of people, they'll probably have a tough time doing this. Like there'll be some really kind of uncomfortable feelings. Some people won't even be able to look at themselves in the eye and tell them that they love themselves. So I would highly recommend trying this and do it as often as possible throughout the day. Now, not just in front of the mirror, but also just as a kind of an affirmation throughout the day is just, tell yourself, I love myself, I accept myself, I approve of myself. The more you can ingrain this stuff into your mind, your subconscious mind, the more you'll believe it and the more it becomes your reality. So that leads us to the second thing I want to talk about is focus, okay? Where do you focus your thoughts? Where do you focus your attention? And what language are you using with yourself, okay? So I'll tie in language with focus. So you've probably heard of the law of attraction. It doesn't really matter if you believe it or not, it's a law. It's kind of like the law of gravity. It doesn't matter if you believe gravity or not, it works, it exists. So the law of attraction basically says what you focus on expands, more or less. So if you focus on negativity, if you focus on how bad the world is, that's essentially going to be your reality. Whereas if you focus on how great things are for you, you focus on things you're grateful for as opposed to what you don't have, you focus on love as opposed to hatred, you experience a very different reality from a lot of other people. Remember, I don't believe there's an objective reality. I think we all experience this world in a very subjective manner. All that matters is the meaning you give to life or give to something. And that has to come down to, and that basically comes to focus. So what I want to, with respect to focus, what I wanted to mention is that when you are thinking things, okay, I want you to really kind of start to become aware of those thoughts, because what you focus to think about is going to determine how you feel. There's a process of manifestation that you've probably heard of that's basically says your thoughts lead to your feelings, which lead to your actions, which lead to your results. You may have heard that before. Now, so if you want these results, if you want to lose 25 pounds, or if you want to gain 10 pounds of muscle, what are the actions you need to take? Okay, so it might be working out more often, eating better. In order to work out and to achieve those goals, eating better, what are the feelings that you need to feel in order to be able to take those actions? If you feel depressed and hopeless, well, you're not going to take actions to get those results. And in order to feel hopeful, optimistic, like things can actually work for you, what are the thoughts you need to be thinking in order to feel that way? So everything starts up here. If you don't have the results you want, I'm going to argue that it's probably, well, most likely it's coming from up here. You don't truly believe that you can achieve the results you want, or you truly don't deserve what you say you want. So by focusing on, for instance, telling yourself that you are worthy, that you love yourself, that you accept of yourself, that you approve of yourself, or whatever types of other affirmations or thoughts you can start, or language you can use for yourself to start creating a new reality for yourself. That's a very, very powerful thing you can do. So let's say moving into 2013 as an example, you wanted to lose 20 pounds. Okay? So what are some of the thoughts that might prevent you from doing that? Well, some of the thoughts, typical thoughts, a lot of clients of mine in the past have, for instance, you might relate to this, if losing weight is one of your goals, you don't see yourself as somebody who's 20 pounds lighter. You see yourself as an overweight person. Your identity of yourself is skewed. So the thinking is like, well, I don't like skinny people. They're all, they're skinny bitches and they're bad people, or I don't believe I can do this. I don't want to work out. I don't want to get uncomfortable. What happens if I give up my favorite treats? So these are all, I'm not saying that this is what you're thinking, but what I'm suggesting is that if you can start to really become aware of these thoughts and start to move them, if they're not empowering you, then that's where real change can occur. So if you notice that you have some disempowering thoughts, then you can start to become conscious of that and say, you know what, listen, is this thought helping me get towards my goal? If it's not, let's replace it with something else. So instead, if you want to lose 20 pounds, a thought might be, I'm an incredible human being who deserves awesomeness, or something that's more empowering, that helps you feel good so that you can take action to help you get to that result. Okay, so there's a lot of examples, but I want you to basically think about what you focus on, your thoughts. Focus on empowering thoughts that will make you feel good, give you a sense of hope and optimism so that you take action. Okay, there's no point in setting goals if you think deep down inside you're not going to achieve them. And I think a lot of people over the course of their life get to that point where they say, well, what's the point of even setting goals? I'm just going to fail again. And I don't want that to happen to you. And I actually have a really cool exercise that I'm going to be giving you to help you go through that process. So focus is really important. So what you want to focus on that goal you want to achieve. Focus on the fact that you've already achieved it and what are some of the things you've done to get there. Now I'm going to share some really cool stuff I have for you to help you do that. So we'll talk more about focus when we get to that, but just think about this, right? If you're a miner, for instance, if you work in the mines, you have those hard hats, and those hard hats have a lamp, like a headlight on them, okay? So the miner he's doing his stuff in the dark, but that headlight can only focus in one area, right? It can only focus on that specific area that's being lit. It can't focus on a ton of other things. So you're either seeing, in the mine, you're either seeing the dirt or you're seeing the gold, right? I can only see one side of this card at a time. Which side do I wish to focus on? Things happen in life. The meaning you give to those is what's important to you, okay? So we'll talk about focus a little bit more in a second, but the last thing I want to mention in terms of creating change is using your body, okay? So this relates back to how you feel. If you want to change the way you feel, you want to change the way you use your body. So if I'm going to sit here and record a video for you, and I sit back here with my shoulders slumped, and I kind of sit down in my chair, what do you think my mental state is right now? So I'm just recording this video. I got my head down, shoulders slumped forward, okay? You can tell that I'm not in the most upbeat of spirits. But if I sit up tall, if I bring my shoulders back, chest proud, and I speak more vocally, a little bit more louder with more intonation, all of a sudden that changes what's happening in my mind. That changes the endorphins, that changes the neurotransmitters in my brain, that changes the way I feel. So if you want to feel differently, you want to use your body differently. So that's why exercise is so important, right? If you exercise more often, and they've shown this with people with depression, if you exercise, if you have depression, you will greatly improve the way you feel. Okay, so we want to use our body differently. We want to focus our thoughts. We want to choose language that's going to support us, and we want to use our body in a way that's going to change our physiology, or change our physiology in some degree. Because by moving, by doing different things, by holding yourself in a different way, you change your physiology emotionally through your brain chemistry. So these are three things: loving yourself. Okay, and if you love yourself, you'll essentially love other people and love other things, which is what this world needs more of. Focus. What you focus on expands, focusing on the good, focusing on what you want to achieve, as opposed to what you don't have, the lack of. Okay, and using your body in a new and empowering way. So exercise, holding yourself up tall. One of the things I was recently putting together for our Super Nutrition Academy students is this concept of self-identity. If you want to be a different person, if you want to achieve a certain look or a certain type of whatever, you need to identify yourself, you need to see yourself and act as if you're already there. So if you want to be a successful real estate agent like Donald Trump, or he's not a real estate agent, but like, a business guru, real estate developer, you would probably want to act and talk like Donald Trump. Not that that's not necessarily a good thing, right? But nonetheless, you get the point. You want to act as if. So you're kind of faking it until you make it. Because your brain, you need to condition your brain to believe that you are this type of person. Because once you believe that, then you start to act like that, and it just becomes who you are. Okay? So, all right, so I have some really cool tools for you. I put together some really cool things. First thing I want to go over is this sheet right here. Okay, so it's called My 2013 Goals. And below this video on the blog, you can print this off, and there's three components. Now the first thing is, if you're looking at this with me, I want to just direct your attention to the very top here. And I'm just going to read this to you. And it talks, the title there is Looking Back from Achievements. So what we're going to do is we're going to set goals, but we're going to set them as if they've already been achieved. So we're going to look ahead to the end of 2013, and we're going to look back over the year and look at, well, what is it that you did to achieve those goals? Okay, so it's very it's very tough to think about from today and looking forward, right? Because we can very rarely solve a problem with the same brain or the same thinking that created it. So by thinking starting today of where you want to be in a year, 5 years, 10 years is very tough because we can't conceptualize that. But if we can think from the future, looking back, it's a lot easier to see that as having been accomplished. So here's what we want to do. Throughout this exercise, so I'm just reading this here, you're going to operate from the position that you've already achieved your health and fitness goals for 2013. So you want to think, write, and visualize in terms of how did this happen. So the first exercise in this box says, what 3 main health and fitness goals did you achieve in 2013? So you have 3 lines, okay, three rows. You're going to write down your 3 most important health and fitness goals. And, for that matter, they could be any other goal as well. So if you wanted to make $1 million, that could be one of yours. So what main health and fitness goals? And you want to state it, there's a lot of different ways of stating goals. Some people say state it in the present as if it's already been achieved, like I am 215 pounds of pure muscle, whatever. I want you to state this a little bit differently. I want you to state this like you've already achieved it. So, for instance, this might be what 3 main health goals did you achieve? The first one might be I successfully lost 20 pounds by removing processed foods from my diet and working out 3 times a week. Okay, so that would be, for instance, the one goal you write down. It's already been done. Like it's already part of who you are. You've already achieved it. You don't need to, write it in the present as if you're, trying to make yourself believe it. This is the whole power of this is you've already achieved this. It's done. It's just like you're talking about in the past. So you write down your 3 main health and fitness goals. Next, the second component in here is you want to go deep by identifying why these goals are a must for you. Why were they a must? Why was it an absolute must that you lost 20 pounds? Okay, so you want to go deep here and say, well, as an example, I wanted to lose 20 pounds so that I could fit into clothes that fit me 5 years ago. Well, go deeper than that. Why? So I can feel better about myself. Why? Try to ask yourself why as often as much as you can, so you get down to the ultimate reason, and then write that reason in or that sentence. When you can identify the why, that's going to help you overcome whatever obstacles come up in your life. Okay, so those whys, those reasons why, are really important. That's the second component. Now, here's a really cool thing. The third component says now that you've achieved your desired goals, what were, because you've already achieved this, right? It's just like it's already happened. What were the 5 biggest changes you made? What were the 5 biggest changes you made? This could be lifestyle, it could be dietary, it could be workouts, it could be mindset, it could be anything. What were the 5 things that you changed about yourself, about the way you live, to help you achieve those 3 goals? Okay, so you're thinking from the future, looking back, and you've already accomplished this, so now you can say, okay, well, here's what I did. I woke up earlier. I spent 30 minutes in the morning working out as opposed to sleeping in. Or I didn't watch TV while I was eating dinner. I ate at the table and I became more conscious of my food. So what's cool about this is that when you write this stuff down, this actually ends up becoming your action plan for making those goals a reality. Isn't it? You see how powerful that is? So this is an amazing tool. It's a very simple 1-sheeter. Okay, print it off, and I highly recommend this to you. This is the best Christmas gift that I could possibly give you, because this stuff is very powerful. I'm not. You know that I'm not a fan of like giving people fish. I don't want to give you the gimmicks and all that nonsense because I don't think that empowers you. I'm not here to BS you. I'm not going to say that you can spray some like mist on your body that's going to help you lose weight, or you can throw a sauna belt on. All that stuff is BS. Okay, I would rather teach you how to fish. Yes, it's a little bit more work, but it's far more rewarding to accomplish this stuff, by doing things, by becoming a better person. That's my intention is for you. Because I believe that every single one of us needs to continually grow. We need to be better versions of ourselves as we age, as we go through life. If we don't, then we're essentially dying. We're either growing or we're dying, okay? We need to develop, we need to grow, we need to become better versions of ourselves so we can serve others and the world and ourselves. Okay, so in conjunction with this 2013 goal sheet, I've prepared for you not an iPod, not an iPhone 5, but something probably even better. So I've prepared a 20-minute evening meditation for you. And this meditation is kind of like a affirmation / visualization audio that you want to listen to before going to bed. This is something that I've done on and off for a couple of years, but I've really made the commitment of doing this over the last several weeks, and it's made a tremendous difference in my life. So I literally recorded my voice talking to myself to hypnotize me with affirmations that I had set for myself, and I listen to this every single night before I go to bed, or as I'm in bed, kind of drifting off to sleep. So I prepared the same thing for you. The affirmations are very applicable. They have to do with your self-love, accepting yourself, sense of worthiness, and we're going to take these elements of looking at your goals from the future, looking back, and we've embedded those in the audio for you. So I'm going to take you through a visualization process where we're in the future looking back over 2013 and looking at the amazing changes that you made and the different things that you did to get there. And the whole idea with this is that these are things you want to do this every single night, okay? Every single night until you get sick and tired of my voice, pretty much, or until this stuff, these embedded suggestions and visualizations have become ingrained into your subconscious brain, into your subconscious mind, because that is where the true change occurs. When we can get things into the subconscious and it becomes just an unconscious behavior for you, thinking positively, not thinking positively, but focusing on the right things, using the right language for yourself, being able to see yourself in a better light. If that becomes an automatic process for you, I guarantee your life will change. So I have these amazing gifts for you. I want you to download this below this video on the blog post. So this is the 2013 goal sheet, and then you'll have the evening meditation audio, a 20-minute audio, which you want to listen to before you go to bed or as you're lying down. And it's going to actually help you sleep really well as well, because I'm going to take you through some very scientifically produced specific sounds that will get you into a brainwave, an alpha brainwave, which is going to help you relax and get into a much better sleep. So you'll actually sleep better. And the cool thing is that instead of watching the 11 o'clock news and hearing about the latest shooting or ridiculous nonsense, this stuff is a lot more empowering. And you know, what you listen to and watch is all absorbed in there. Okay, it's without you even knowing it, it's all in there. So we want to embed better commands, we want to reprogram the wiring, and that's what this audio is all about. So I wanted to give these gifts to you before Christmas. It's kind of my way of saying, you know, Merry Christmas. Thank you so much for allowing me to hopefully make your life a little bit better in some way, shape, or form, whether that be through exercise or nutrition or inspiration or something. And I wanted to give you something that I think that this is the stuff I use in my daily life, and I wanted to impart the same tools to you because I know how powerful these are. The key is that you just want to spend time to really identify the things that are important to you and this you can just, you're laying in bed anyways, so just listen to it. Okay, these are just, it couldn't be easier. So it's like osmosis pretty much, like right into your brain through your headphones. And I mean, why wouldn't you want to listen to my voice giving you empowering suggestions before you go to bed? So that's pretty much all I have for you today. Again, you know, happy holidays, Merry Christmas. Thanks for allowing me to spread my gifts to you, and I hope you make this holiday season amazing. And I'm really serious about making 2013 the best year of my life, but also the best year of your life. And that's one of the beautiful things about growth, is that when you commit to growing yourself, you naturally want to help others do the same. So that's the gift that I'm looking forward to sharing with you over the new year and moving forward. And that's about all for me today. So thanks again. I'm Yuri Elkaim, and download your gifts below, and we'll see you very shortly.